Washington's military brinkmanship in the South China Sea could spark a real war with Beijing. Well, that's according to China's Navy chief. The warning came after an American warship passed through disputed waters, which Beijing claims is their own. China has built several artificial islands in the Spratly archipelago. The area is also contested by the Philippines, though, as well, which is closely allied with Washington. And the US has already rejected Beijing's claims to the disputed waters. Well, let's get more insight from China-based writer Brendan O'Reilly to talk about this. You can educate me on this one. If this dispute is really between China and the Philippines, what are Washington's warships doing there then?
Well, according to the U.S. government, the stated reason of the American military patrols in the region is to ensure freedom of navigation in the disputed maritime region. I think if you look at the geopolitical picture, though, it's pretty obvious. It's a classic great power rivalry in the West Pacific between China and the United States.
But surely neither side wants a war. Do you think that America will continue to push?
Look, I do agree that neither side wants a war. It doesn't mean that a war couldn't happen accidentally. I think the U.S. has said now very openly that they'll continue with these type of patrols close to the islands that China claims. From China's perspective, this is seen as a provocation, and I think we will see Chinese actions to counter the U.S. deployment in the area.
So you do think that there could be open fire in these disputed waters?
I think it's still unlikely. I think it's still very unlikely. And I think people, when we're looking at the situation, we should remember that no one's actually died in this dispute since the early 1990s. There were some clashes between China and Vietnam. Of course, you can't completely rule it out. And I think the U.S. patrols in the region do make the possibility of open conflict slightly more likely.